All righty. Up next with Mia Ramsey. We're live here. Good morning to everybody. Yeah, what's up?
Let's get it. Let's get it. What's up, girl?
Good morning.
Good morning. It's still morning,
It's still morning. Well, it's almost
baby.
afternoon, but
Yeah.
thank you so much for doing this. This is incredible. And
Uh,
I just thank you so much. I can't thank you enough.
yeah, man. I thank you, Kiana. Listen, I think I met you. It's been a couple of years ago now. When I was at
About to.
UMKC. Yeah, doing the Women of Color event, and you was with Nicole. Sylvia, and I was like, man, this little firecracker right here, dog, who is she? Like, what's up? And so I was like, oh my God, I just, watching you move and, introduce yourself to everybody and just say, hey, I'm Kiana, what do you do? And you were so interested in other people. And a lot of times people are interested in themselves. Okay, right. But I love your just your passion for people, and then to watch what you all have been doing. You as a co-founder, the two of you, with Black Excellence KC. I was like, oh, they down at the Negro League Museum. They doing it like that. What they doing? Oh, they got some awards. It's like, for real. I think it's phenomenal.
Thank you. It's been a great year. And I think for me, I can't do what I do without people like you because, I look up to you guys. There's so many people in the community that's doing some great things. And I realize that even though I've lived just this amount of time in my life, I still have so much more ahead. And so the more people, the better you can have those blueprints to look at. But we're not here to talk about me this morning. We're here to talk about you, because we want.
Well, I'm gonna have a show so I can talk about you.
Oh, okay. Okay. So tell the people, who is Mia Ramsey?
Child, who is she, honey? That's a good question. Who is Mia Ramsey, baby? I don't know. I know. Let me just, if I had to sum it up, first of all, I'm a lover of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, honey. He made me specifically the way I am. And so I am grateful. But I'm just a lover of people. I'm a glass half full person. Girl, I don't know. I try not to meet a stranger. I just want everybody to feel like family. I want everybody, if I meet somebody, be like, hey, what's up? I don't want to be afraid to walk down the street, see a brother or, a sister, looking a certain type of way. I don't want to be intimidated by nobody. I don't want them intimidated by me. And so Absolutely. I think in a nutshell, that's who I am and that's who I strive to be always. So, I'm a musician, a singer. I'm an elder at my church, girl. Kingdom Word Ministries, 3301 Cypress Avenue. Shout out to Bishop and Sister Morrison, Bishop Eric Morrison, Holy Lady Regina.
Yeah, amen.
Yeah, but yeah, man, listen, I've been this girl, I've been this size and this personality since I was 5, dog. So yeah, this is who I am, man.
That's super dope. Tell people, what do you do in the community? I know I've met you through various in different pockets. I've seen you host events from literally like maybe 50 people in a room to a couple hundred people in the room. Talk about that.
So let me see. In the community, so of course I've always been a musician, but in 2011, my god sister and I started a business, a mentoring organization called Sisters of Substance. And the Lord had given it to me. And the acronym is SOS. And it's just, for us to be able to reach out and provide a strong foundation, for women to be able to stand on. Because a lot of times our foundations are cracked and we don't say nothing. And so we just keep building on cracked foundations. And then when things begin to crumble, we ask why. Well, if you don't go back to the foundation, you'll never know why. So that was what we wanted to do. And I got offered an opportunity. My children were students at Brookside Charter at the time. And I got an opportunity to tag in as a female mentor through a program that we created there called Gamma Girls. And so from there, that's what we've been doing. My organization still exists. And I do that in the community, as well as I'm very active in my church community. And I mean, girl, I make t-shirts. Shameless plug today. Shameless plug. You too can go and get one at MiaRamsey.com. Get the apparel.
I'll make sure to put that. I'll make sure to put that in the link. I'll make sure to put that in the link.
Not you. I got to gift the host one. I'm talking about everybody.
So obviously we talked about, when I reached out to you, I was like, man, like what can we talk about? And there right now there's so much that's happening across the world, and primarily here in Kansas City, we're adjusting to not as what people would say, when things are going to return to normal. And I think things are not going to be normal. It's what is going to be the new normal that we're going to have to adapt to. And so we titled this session, Get a Grip. What are you holding on to? Grip. What is the grip?
Man, that's the question. Everybody has to ask themselves, what am I gripping on to? Because if you are phased because of COVID-19, then you've been gripping on to everything else and not having a solid, again, foundation. When you know who you are and you know whose you are, you can't let things pull you off track. Now, what it can do, God has a way of sitting us down. Like Ryan was talking last night, he was saying some stuff, man, and that's the truth. God has a way. I feel like this. God stopped the world so that I could rest. That's how I feel. Like, for real, because most of us go 100 miles a minute. We got 30,000 things we juggling at one time. And we always say, man, I wish I had time to do, man, if I could only do, I'm not getting enough sleep. I'm not. And so if we don't take this time, this 7 weeks that we've already been in, if we don't take this time to evaluate who we are in these moments, it ain't gonna matter who we are when it's over, if it's over. You know what I'm saying? And so I think the grip, what we have to get a grip on is who we are in this moment. This moment defines you. And if you all over the place, if you freaked out every 2 seconds, it tells me there's some work I got to do internally, because it shouldn't freak me out. God got everything under control at the end of the day. At the end of the day, everybody that thought that they had the game and gone, dog, I don't care what your degree is. You sat down, boo. You hear me? Sanitation workers are essential right now. Everybody looking at sanitation workers like high five when they were being looked over. Healthcare workers, when you was like, I need my meal, I need my meds, was treating them all kinds of ways. Dog, they look like the president right now. They look like a lifeline. And so we have to evaluate what we've been holding on to all these years, all these times we've been in peril. We've never been in peril like this. And so if you do not have a strong anchor, dog, you're going to be waving with the wind. You're going to be like some other people we be watching on TV that be flip-flopping every day. All right. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Oh, yeah. That's a lot. Because I talk to a lot of people. Obviously, I just turned 25, Mia, in March.
What? Come on, girl.
Yeah. Living my best life.
Yeah.
And 9/11 obviously happened when I was not born yet. And so, or I was born, but was too young to remember. Yeah. So a lot of people talk about this is completely different, because at least when 9/11 was happening, money was still moving in the economy. People were still going to work. I mean, we were scared. You were fearful. You maybe second guessed a lot of things when you were traveling on planes and airports. But this has completely, as you just mentioned, it's knocked every sector possibly that we can imagine in the world completely out. And so I think, to your point and to Ryan last night, it allows you to really self-reflect and look at things that we maybe have not, those boxes that we need to go through, that we have a room that's closed, and not necessarily busy work, but really doing things that will not just transform the outwardly, but transform you as a person. What do you say about that?
I was trying to remember something you all said last night. It escapes me right now, but not having a plan. I think Ryan said this last night. It's okay right now. You know what I'm saying? Because we want when I get out of this is what I'm gonna do. Boom, 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 boom. But if you have not solidified and got a handle or a grip, you know, on who you are when you come out of this. Listen, let me tell you like this. TD Jakes, I was watching him the other day. I was sharing this with my pastor, and TD Jakes said, he was talking about Lazarus, and he said Lazarus was not the same man coming out that he was going in. You hear me?
Yeah.
We are not the same. We should not be the same. You should not be the same person emotionally, physically, you know, economically. Let me tell you something.
Absolutely.
My pastor posted, and I think I shared it. Ain't nobody working, but everybody eating. You hear me? Ain't nobody working, but everybody eating. Today,
Yeah.
matter of fact, from 1 to 3 at our church, 3301 Cypress Avenue, Brandon Ellington and Bishop Morrison, my pastor, they have partnered together with harvesters, and they're giving out, just like they did yesterday at Victorious Life, just like they did yesterday at Calvary Community Outreach Network, Pastor Eric Williams. Let me tell you something. Right now, at 1 o'clock, you can go through the drive-through pickup at our church, and girl, harvesters, I think they dropped off, Kiona, 12 pallets of food. I'm not even joking. And then we already had food.
Yeah, what's the address again so I can make sure to put that?
3301 Cypress Avenue from 1 to 3 today. And so we don't care what your economic status is, because right now everybody's hungry and everybody needs. You know what I'm saying? You got people that are protesting that have 2 and 3 degrees, that have businesses protesting. We need to get back to work so that we can feed our family. So such and such, such and such. Now, listen, I'm not condoning that at all. But what I am saying to that point is everybody's hungry. Everybody has a need right now. It don't matter who you are and what price bracket you in, because your money ain't helping when you can't even get to a store to buy something. So today from 1 to 3, people can go, girl, they have so much produce. There's meat out there. Everybody can eat right now. And I'm talking about some good food, girl, some brats.
Yeah, I heard. I saw a little promotion this morning about it.
Yeah.
And I just think this really brings to the forefront that the people that we used to look down upon are really being the anchor in our community. Girl, and it exposes a lot. And I think we so many times, and I talk to a lot of my friends that are in my age group, and you know, we understand we have a lot to learn. We have a lot of things that we need to grow in. But people overlook us because either we're young, you know, we're just starting out, or and to this point, you know, I think was so important, obviously, in just bridging that gap and really having these type of conversations. But everybody has purpose. Everybody has something they're great at. Everybody has something they have to say, and storytelling has a very impactful way of sharing things that we can learn from others. And so for those of you that are just tuning in, up next with Mia Ramsey.
What's up, Chardonnay?
Great. People are saying some good things.
Yeah.
And this is super dope. And we are just now talking about get a grip. What are you holding on to? And so for those of you that are tuning in, please comment, ask questions. Love to hear from you guys. Mia, you talked about, me and you talked about a little bit in terms of just the community. So it's one thing with just like, you know, everyone has a faith-based perspective on what they should be doing. What's one thing to you that you feel like in Kansas City right now, we as a people need to be collectively on one page to further whatever it is we're trying to do?
I'm gonna ask you something. How transparent can we be right now? Can I be real transparent?
You can.
So watch this. In Kansas City is considered, I promise you, out of all the places that I've been, we in Kansas City are considered more so the crab barrel than any other place that I've attended, in any other place, because we're so afraid. We're so afraid that somebody gonna know more than we do. We're so afraid that somebody gonna have more than we do. And it's intriguing to me that other ethnicities pull together to make sure that they all rise at the same time. But on the flip, With us, with African Americans, we're so afraid that I'm going to be less than because you're more than. Who cares? Who cares? If you know more, I was on the phone with my cousin last night, my sister cousin. Shout out to her. I see she's on with us today. But we were talking about that. And I was saying, man, because you know this is your strong suit. I'm not intimidated by this. Could you handle that? You do that because you do that so well. Absolutely. And then I'll do this over here. I think in our community right now, because everybody has to be seen, everybody has to be the one, everybody. And then I'm gonna tell you something else, Kiona, that wears me out. We only stick in our circle of people.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's who we comfortable with. And so we get the same high fives from the same people. We get the same, girl, you doing good, from the same people. Brother, oh my God, I love how you doing that. But we never extend ourselves outside because it's uncomfortable. And sure. We're scared of judgment. We're scared of rejection. But that's where the work is. The work ain't inside of our circle. The work is outside. All these churches that are having drive-up churches, do you know that more people are tuning in, more people are getting saved because we stepped outside of our temples and said, Lord, this whole outdoors belongs to you. And so let me shout from the rooftop. You know what I mean? Let me shout from the rooftop how wonderful you are and how everybody has an opportunity. And I think in Kansas City, especially in Kansas City, we're so afraid of being exposed because we might not know as much as we pretend that we do. Huh? Okay. Yeah, because we do that, you know, like, oh yeah, like he was saying last night about the 4x2 versus the 2x4.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Great analogy. Such a great analogy.
That is Kansas City. Okay. We say we know stuff when we really don't because we want to appear to be, and I'm not saying everybody, Kiona. For sure. We have some highly educated people out here. We do. But don't discount my experience because I don't have your education. You hear me? Girl, let me take a sip on that, honey. Hold on. That was good to me. What?
Up next with Mia Ramsey. If you guys are just tuning in, I hope you got your coffee. I got mine. Baby. This is really good. And I think that you're addressing so many things that a lot of us don't understand or we don't look at. That's why majority culture is so much more further ahead than we are, because we do not collectively get on one page to further the advancement, not only just in our community, but black excellence, right? And I think that's what we're really trying to accomplish here. This is why Craig and I created this platform, why we really wanted to collectively bridge the gap and bring some of those existing ecosystems, because we're already great. We have the people, we have the resources, we have the brain power. So we don't need another organization to do the things that God has already called you to do. We need somebody to just connect the dots. And so I think 2 years from now, 5 years from now, BXKC will definitely be a hub for all things Black Kansas City. So
okay, so watch this. Based on what you just said, Kiona, watch this. So if we don't galvanize our community and say, hey, I swear my pastor says this all the time. I got a piece of bread. Oh, you said you got some meat. Let's feed some people. Listen, you like your hair black. I like my hair blue. That ain't got nothing to do with these people that is homeless and hungry. You hear what I'm saying? Who cares? But because we're so I'm telling you, because we're so, but to our defense, we've been conditioned. So watch this. We've been conditioned this way in our neighborhoods. Let me back up. When we say, I want to go to the grocery store, a lot of us say, oh, I ain't shopping in the hood. What? So we take our money off of 42nd and Truce to 119th and Metcalf, and then wonder why our streets got potholes. What? Oh, okay. Yeah. You couldn't wonder when we go to Overland Park, when we go to Lenexa, when we go to other areas in Kansas, And we go out to the I'm about to say the racetrack, child. How long was the racetrack? That's been gone so long ago. Child, just it goes to show you, girl, my mind, I'll be
it's okay. We
49.
all understand. We all got you. We all on
but
one court.
We'll go to the Legends and we'll shop. Great shops. But if we do not come together as a community and say, listen, we need something on 31st and Linwood, and watch this. Not something that somebody else told us we needed in our neighborhood. When we're talking about this pandemic right now, we're talking about injustices and disparities. When we look at, and I'm gonna shout it to the rooftops until things change. When you can go to a Happy Foods and separate the roll of toilet tissue, take 2 out, put it in a meat container and wrap it and put $2.50 on it, there's a problem. Mm-hmm. There's a problem. When you can go up the street to a Sunfresh and foil is $12.50, that's a problem. But if we do not say something as a community, we don't want that here. Why we ain't got no price chopper?
Yeah, I think,
Kiona.
I'm not for sure. That's a great question. I think that's my point. That has to be addressed, and that's why I try to do everything I can to talk to a lot of the people who, that consider me to swing an election. We will get city council in office or we cannot get them in office. Our vote matters. And I think more so understanding that, electoral college has its own process. And so being familiar with that too, because it's not just, the people that we put into city council or we go and vote, but we're going backwards. We're now finding out that these are the people that lead the charge, who we put in our courtrooms locally here in Kansas City. All those things matter. And I think
keep them accountable.
And keep them accountable.
Yeah.
And I think, and I hope, and I pray that in November of this year, regardless of how things look, in terms of what people say, your vote and you participating in that process will make all of the difference. But when you talked about the inequities and how, you can roll up, take toilet paper, and put it into a meat package and put it on the counter and sell it for $2.50. Those inequities have already been there. So are we just now we're talking about it? How do we get other people to be more comfortable to say that to our white counterparts?
That's really good. So check this out. You're right. What this pandemic has done is it's opened everybody else's eyes to stuff that we've already been living with. See, we live with this, but this is my problem with our community. We live with it. We shouldn't be living with it. It shouldn't have never been an exposure, because we should have already said we're not. You can't tell me with the lowest incomes in the country, you cannot tell me, and we're the largest consumer, and we only make up a fraction of this union's economy. You cannot tell me we don't have power. Can't tell me that. But if we do not exercise power, that's just like if you never turn on your lights, you can't say I ain't got no electricity. Yeah. I'm tired of people talking about stay woke. No, wake up. You can't stay up if you ain't never been up. So we walk around, stay woke, stay woke. Listen, what you woke to? Are you woke to? I'm serious, girl. I'm so. Listen, I asked you if we can be transparent, dog. I'm just over it, Kiona. I am.
Up next with Mia Ramsey.
Just stay woke, girl. Hey, bro, stay woke. No, wake up. You remember on what was that on Spike Lee? What was oh, come on, girl. The college campuses. Oh my God, it's one of my favorite movies.
Do the Right Thing.
Not Do the Right Thing. It's the oh my God, girl. See my mind. Somebody come on and tell me what I'm trying to say. The Spike Lee joint. What you say? Oh, one of my kids was trying to. School Days. My husband hollering from the bedroom. School Days.
School Days. Thank you, hubby.
Thank you, brother. At the end of School Days, Lawrence Fishburne says, "Wake up!" You hear me? What do you have to say that for? 20 years ago. Because we are doing it to ourselves. Nobody can hurt you if you don't allow it to happen. Mm-hmm. So why is it that our healthcare, or not our healthcare, our hair care products, mm-hmm. our stores are not owned by us, but they sell all my stuff? Mm-hmm. That's illegal, girl.
And cultural appropriation. I don't want to go there, but to everybody that's tuning in, we just have to give proper due. I won't go into it on there. We have to give proper respect to the entities that preserve Black Kansas City. And then, until we respect that, until we acknowledge that, we will continue to support people who are not for us. I told Craig, and I told my friends all the time, I think I made up my own term in the political space, or we all know post-traumatic syndrome or what. Mm-hmm. I think some people have that in the voting process as well. People who run for offices is like post-voting syndrome. So things that you ran, the things that you ran on, I'm like, what are you doing? Right. And, you tackle everything all at once. And speaking of people who are in office, our Mayor Quint Lucas, he's going to be on this platform on Friday. We're going to be talking to him about obviously his first year in office. He did not predict he would be dealing with not only a Kansas City crisis, a global crisis, and how that impacts Kansas City to get that message out to the masses. But I wanted to ask you, what should we be focused on during this time? So everyone's doing a lot of self reflection. We're seeing all these different things. We're turning on the news. We're reading things on our phones. People are going to church more. People are looking for ways to be inspired. People are starting to read more things. Mm-hmm. What should you be doing right now in your home? Your quarantine, social distancing has eliminated everything imaginable. You can't go anywhere. Hair salons are shut down. You can't, it's unless you're
girl. What color is this? White, baby, because I can't get to the salon, honey.
I've been saying people, I said, man, I cannot wait till one salon opens. I'm there. I don't care if I cannot see my regular person. I am going to some Black-owned hair salon. What should we be talking about? Like, what should you be thinking about? You mentioned early on when we first started, we're almost 30 minutes into this live stream, that we cannot come out the same as we went into this. What are some practical things right now that you want people to know?
I think there are three things that I can say that we need to do. One, we need to focus in on prayer. They took prayers out of schools, and I swear to God, it seemed like education started failing. We took prayers out of homes. We just stopped praying as a country. You can't say the country is built on God and, in God we trust. And, there are scriptures on the walls of the Capitol, and then we neglect it and we say we don't want that. Because this is what happens now, that we have to, he'll stop a world. It's not just the United States. He stopped the whole world so that we could return to him. We got to get ourselves right. So number one, we need to return to prayer.
Yeah.
Number two, we have to consider people. We have to look out for everybody. You can't say, well, I'm just looking out for me. I'm just doing me. You can't just do you, because you are not the majority. We are the majority. Yeah. So we have to look out for one another. So we need prayer, people, and last, propriety. We need to start looking at things that we can own. We need to start looking at things that we can invest in. Things that we can say, listen, can't nobody snatch this from me. I don't care, because some establishments never closed. Yeah. Some establishments never closed. But when we are smart, when we are the most creative group of people on this planet. He has gifted us with knowledge beyond education.
For sure.
And so if we don't take the time to start to prioritize our proprieties in this country, then we're going to be stuck always as the last man on the totem pole. And that he said we would be the lender and not the borrower. We would be the head and not the tail. And so if we don't start taking those things, first of all, acknowledge him through prayer. Two, consider other people. 3, make sure that we have a proprietary interest in the things that are in this community. I swear, if we do that, when we come out, we're going to be what? Powerful. Girl, come on with them peas. What? I just preached. Y'all go on to cash at me. And, no, I'm just playing.
This is some good stuff. This is some good stuff. And how do we release the things that we're gripping onto? You know, we call this get a grip. What are you holding on to? So I'm gripping. I need to release. And how do I do that?
So every year, this would have been my 4th year. We haven't had an opportunity to do it. I had to stop production of it. But we have this, I host an event every year called Girl Bye. And Girl Bye is just getting rid of a mindset, getting rid of the things that weigh us, the things that tell us that we cannot or will not. And so we have to make sure, Kiona, that we go back to foundational things. If I'm upset with you, let me check myself before I check you and say, why am I so mad about this?
Wait a minute. Can we stop right there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Because I do not understand and speaking more so from a woman's perspective, why we continue to egg crawl, and I might be at an event and I see you, but I won't even say hi to you. Girl. I won't even ignore. And look, I might have done something wrong. I'm not saying we're humans. We make mistakes. Girl. We say things. We do things unconsciously, consciously, but we still need to acknowledge. So if I can't even speak to you and initiate that conversation, we never even get to the conversation of how we can even fix it. And so can you talk about that?
Yeah, I can. So watch this. Brothers, they ain't got to know each other. They will walk by each other and be like, what's up?
What up, bro?
Yeah.
What you doing?
Like,
hey, you see The Last Dance the other night?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey, dog, even if they never say nothing, Kiona, they can see each other on the street and be like, that's an acknowledgement. Baby, we like, I
let everybody know.
Baby, we done figured out, baby, her economic status, how many baby daddies she got, where she driving, where she living, in one up and down, honey. And the problem is we are not secure in who we are.
Wow.
See, we always want to play the blame game, but in this time, when you pray, God will show you who you are at the end of the day. He will show you who you are at the end of the day. And so why am I pissed off about this? Why is it okay? Yeah, why are you so mad? Why are you so mad? Let that go. Have a conversation with yourself before you start having a conversation with somebody else. And then the other thing is, I ain't your competition, dog. I'm so cool with who I am. I love me. I love me. All 400 pounds of me. All blue hair with spotted white specks of gray. What? I love me. Now, are there some things I'd love to change about myself? Definitely. But I'm not your competition, dog. I don't compete with nobody because I ain't got to. You know what I'm saying? And if women, black women, I'm telling you, be like, oh, so I guess she thinks she cute because she got long hair. Well, you should have told her she was cute because you thought she was cute too.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no problem saying, girl, you cute.
Yeah, what does that take away from us by acknowledging and being honest and being transparent in that space, in that time, in that moment when you're right there and you see that person, hey sis, you look good today. I always greet people with, hey sis, because I want you to know that I acknowledge your greatness. I acknowledge who you are and who you say you are, what you do. Man. I don't know nothing about finances or bank. I'm like, hey, you know, I know that I'm great. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? Girl.
And I'm telling you, we miss out on so many partnerships, collaborations, and great things that Ryan talked about last night. Is your purpose is tied to what you're going to own that God has already told you you're going to do. And if we don't do that, and if we don't even acknowledge and take that self-ownership and say, hey, like, why did I feel some type of way about that? Or why did I, kind of not say anything? Or why did I tip away from that? We miss out on everything. And then you look up and you're like, oh, I seen such and such did X, Y, Z, but you could have been maybe that person what they say, a ram in a bush, as my grandmother would say.
But Kiona, what if, even if I didn't want to, what if you were doing something great and I'd be like, that's dope. The only reason it takes away from me is because I don't have nothing. That's the only way somebody can take something away from you. And so let me tell you how you can help, how we can help one another. Okay. When you deposit, you said, when I see somebody, I say, hey, sis, and in your mind, you like, this is me acknowledging your greatness. Do you know how far that goes? When I went to Price Chopper the other day, I said to a young lady, I said, listen, girl, thank you for being here. And I know you behind this glass shield and praise the Lord, but thank you, because you could have decided not to come to work, and then what was we gonna do? He was like, "Oh, thank you so much." Yeah, they done put up them glass shields, dog. Like I said, I ain't mad at y'all, dog. I ain't trying to come around there or nothing. Here, let me lay the money on the counter. But when you say something to a young lady and say, "Hey, girl, I see you," Girl, I will be somewhere and I'll be like, oh, you swear you cute with your outfit on, girl. I see you, girl. They be like, girl, you silly. Thank you. I don't know them. But in that moment, it justified and helped somebody to feel like somebody sees me. And that's all anybody really wants, is see me. That's why suicide rates are up, because it feels like nobody's looking at me. Nobody's seeing me. Nobody's hearing me. So if we don't acknowledge one another, that's pure isolation before there was ever a COVID-19, dog. You hear me? We have been doing COVID-19 for I don't know how long in the Black community. We have always had the coronavirus. It was the Negro please-itis. For real, because we are so manic in how we look at one another. This is stupid. This is stupid. But for me to say to you, girl, what you use on your skin is so bright. Yeah. But see, if I say that, then that says to me, my skin ain't. Instead of just me saying, I want to know so I can. That does not take away from me because I complimented you. But we have been conditioned. And then we ain't got time today.
We do, but another conversation. I think we need to have a part 2 tonight.
Hey, dog. I really don't me because I'm ready.
Yeah, we got part 2 tonight, guys. For everybody that's tuning in, make sure you tag somebody on this live and tell them tonight we're gonna work out the details. Tell them tonight we're gonna go round 2 tonight. I think this is a conversation that needs to be heard even tonight. So people who are probably working, they're gonna go back, they're gonna see this, but I want people to, as much as possible, hear this conversation again tonight. We'll work out details later. Can you talk about one more thing? Mm-hmm. What's on the other side of releasing? So once I have acknowledged I have a grip, I'm holding on to something that I need to get rid of. Releasing, we talked about that a little bit. What's on the other side after I have released all of those things, or something that I'm struggling with, or something that I've been able to be fully transparent with myself, and maybe somebody that's holding me accountable in that process to let go?
2 things come after you release. The first thing that comes is fear. Fear comes because it's like, I don't have this as insulation no more. I've lived like this for so long. You know what I'm saying? So fear comes because it's fear of judgment, fear of how people will see me, fear of, am I going to be rejected because of this? Number 1. But then after that comes faith, and you got to own it. You got to own who you have been created to be. Let me tell you something. I want to go back to something in this question that Ryan said last night. You and him were talking. And one of the things that I do know, people are like, well, what's my purpose? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And, this, that, and the other thing. But this is what I do know. And it's always been told to me through our church, through the Spirit of the Lord talking. If you can find yourself doing it and not get paid, that's what you called to do. You hear me? My pastor says it all the time. And then the Lord just reminds me. He keeps reminding me, if you can do it and not get a dime, I'm telling you, this is what I'm calling you to. And most of the time, we're already doing it. So don't look for something new to do. You have already done it. Now, you might need somebody to help you disseminate what that is and how you can, further that.
I think we all do. Yeah. We all do. Nobody creates anything without sitting down with a pastor, whether that's spiritual guidance, whether that's sitting down with somebody you trust in the banking industry to get financial projections. I don't think we all just sit down and create something. I think at some point of time, you might know someone that knows me that you don't know that I picked their brain, but they helped me get this part together. It's an amazing process, but we never figured it out until we get to the
and you got to
side.
get past the fear of asking. You got to get past the fear of, I don't know, I'm not qualified, I don't feel. Girl, he qualified, justified, predestined. He did all of that. So there is nothing that is in you that you have to conjure up that God has not already put in you. So the things that you need to walk out after this are the things that you've probably already been doing. You just didn't think that this was something you were supposed to be doing because you just do it out of the goodness of your heart. Right now, we're dealing with heart matters. We ain't dealing with no economy. We ain't dealing with holes in the street. We ain't dealing, as much as I love my Chiefs, we ain't dealing with no championships. We're dealing with things that care and matter to people the most. And right now, that's the heart matters.
And I think too, it shows with people who've been walking that walk, who've been very transparent pre-COVID-19. It shows right now. And I think that was what I talked to Asia James and Mallory yesterday who do Flexi, and they talked about right now. Flexi, I was like, flexing on them. For those of you who don't know, Flexi, literally, you can go to their Facebook page if you're at home and you're looking for ways to get kind of tuned out or working out what you put in your body. That's part of releasing, right? We talk about that as well. Just because you go to the gym and, everybody looks differently, everybody does different things. It's so much. Ryan talked about it last night. It's not me just doing all these things. Be great, because whatever you touch will become great. And I was like,
come on, man. Come on, man. God can't be in you as the greater and you not be greater. That's a suppression. That is voter suppression. I vote not to use him.
What?
I vote not to allow God to be greater in me. That's voter suppression. That's personal. I have had my own election and I've said, I don't want this. Girl, I ain't got time, honey. I just listen. Call me tonight so we can finish talking.
Everybody's wanting a part 2.
Part 2, let's do it.
We're probably gonna do this at probably 8:00, 8:30.
Listen, I'm good.
People are kind of tuning down for the day. They're sitting at home on the couch, probably strolling on Facebook. So 8:30, tune back in at Black Excellence KC Facebook page. Tap in. Someone said one of the comments is when passion and purpose and the ability to meet opportunities, that's good business. I would agree.
That's my cousin, all the way, my sister cousin, all the way in Tennessee, Clarksville, in the house.
Yeah. A guy has all access. Chardonnay said guy has all access.
He has to have access, Chardonnay, because if we deny, the Bible talks about denying the power, having a form of godliness, but denying the power therein. So it's having this in me, but saying I don't really want it like that. Then we're not going to be greater. We're not. We just ain't, dog.
We're just not. So people are saying this is fire. Hey, you heard it here. Up next with Mia Ramsey. This has been. If you didn't get anything out of today, this is so good for me because I was missing my people. I'm sitting at home. I'm like, what can I do? What can I do to
Kiona, you over there looking like Kerry Washington hosting the show, dog. Listen, this is so lit.
I love our community. I cannot even explain. Literally, I just want to have a huge gala. All the Black Kansas City. I want to take Mary Quentin and say, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have a Black Excellence Gala in Kansas City.
Come on.
And I want everybody who is of something to be here this night, this day. I love everybody. I think that we lose so much when we don't know greatness in our community and what people are doing and who people are. And I think we already have the resources. We're already tapped into a lot of the things that we say we need. They're here in Kansas City. And we have some bright people that are doing some great things. And so I just want people to know that. I want people to acknowledge that. And it's just a lot. Just sitting here, the power of social media, being able to have people tune into our conversation. For those of you who have just tuned in, we're doing round 2. People have
round two.
People want some more. So tonight, tune in between 8:30 at Black Excellence KC. We're gonna go live again. Before I let you go, Mia, what are some imparting words that you want people to know? We got part 2 later. What should people be meditating on today? It is Wednesday, April. What's today's date? April the 22nd. We're in the middle of the week. What should people be doing? Some people working from home. Some people's been laid off. I haven't started my JOB yet because of COVID-19. Mm-hmm. So that's a shift in my life that's getting ready to happen. But what should we be doing today? At 11 o'clock. It's, I don't know. 11 o'clock. At 11:45.
11:45. Today, I want you to rest, relax, and reflect. Rest, relax, and reflect. Don't try to think about what you're going to do tomorrow. Don't try to think about what you're going to do next week. Today I'm about to go read Woman's Day magazine, child, them old people magazines. I'm fit to get one and see what some recipes. I'm fit to fix them today and have another cup of coffee. Yes, I am. Till tonight.
This is so good. Rest. What was the other one? Relax.
Relax and reflect.
And reflect. Relax.
Rest first.
Rest, reflect, and relax.
Okay. You gotta rest, you gotta relax, and then you gotta reflect. Because see, we can relax first. Relax.
Okay.
We gotta get our bodies into. We gotta tell our minds, just chill out, just stop, just stop.
Nothing. Okay.
Kiana, I'm telling you, Kiana, just stop today. Just stop, because you be like, because your mind is such, girl. That's a gold mine, but everything needs rest. So you have to relax your mind so your body can rest, and then reflect on what today looks like. Because I promise tomorrow gonna take care of itself.
Well, I'll be the first to say I've taken so many naps. It could be 1 o'clock in the afternoon and I could probably be taking a nap. I mean, for me, like you said, I know it's been an inconvenience. Of course, I would like to be on my normal routine. But I think for me, this is a pivot. This is very uncomfortable. This is a different thing. Getting online and being vulnerable and talking to people around the community. I'm a face-to-face person.
But what if God extended you, Kiana? And I know you about to get off, but let me say this. What if God extended you? Social media's reach is so far. You got people on here in Atlanta, people on here from, Tennessee, California, Florida. I'm telling you, what if God was saying to you, I'm restoring you. So at the end of this, your base ain't just here. There is a Black KC, a Black TX, a Black SC, a Black listen. Dog, you don't know what God is doing right now. God.
I don't know. That's the goal. If Craig is listening to this, he's probably shouting right now.
Craig, I'm telling you, it's a Black whatever in all these cities with these two-letter states. And so God is giving you an opportunity for restoration so that you can work it out and see. This goes far beyond anything that Kansas City could even hold.
All right.
We're going round 2 tonight.
That's what I'm doing. Round 2 tonight, y'all. Tune in 8 o'clock right back here at BXKC. My sis, thank you so much for doing this. This has been incredible. This is a great way to start my day. Hey, y'all heard it from me first. Up next with Mia Ramsey. Peace out.
All right. I'll see you later.